Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had an amazing holiday season. I'm ready to go. Wanted to show you what you should be talking about, what you should be paying attention to in the market right now. Obviously, we're through with the holidays, and so people are going to start to get back into the swing of things with checking out real estate. But let's take a look for ourselves as to where we are as of right now. Here is our real estate market, and this is broken down, by the way. I'm going to go over the past 3 years here. This is an info spark of the past 3 years. And I'm breaking this down. If you want to see the changes, you can jump between different ways that this gets broken down, either rolling 12 months, rolling 6 months, rolling 3 months, or the monthly. Right now, I want to show you the monthly simply because it's going to show you that this trajectory of real estate doesn't happen on just like a perfect linear basis where it's like always increasing. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, but it's going in these little patterns, and you can see these zenith points, and then, I think it's called nadir and nadir points at the bottom here. And each one of those, you can see every peak each year is increasing by, this is just in the state of Connecticut, obviously, and we've got, other states represented here, but, around, 5% to 7%, it's going up every single year. Obviously, last year we took a huge leap there, almost 10% in a leap. So the question is what's happening right now, and what should we be prepared for? So as soon as we jump out of December, check this out, for every single one of these years, we jump out of December, January, all of a sudden it's the kickoff. The kickoff for January starts, and then right into February, you always have this little bump that starts to go up. So as we're looking here, we're going to start to see people who have been on the sidelines, and you've been making your calls, and people have said, yeah, I'm not really interested in talking right now. But you're going to start to see people get back into the real estate market and start to pay more money as they have urgency that's starting to show up for them of the spring market. Now, you can obviously see that, these changes in between these months are not the same. So obviously in March, to jump to April, you've got, nearly a $20,000 jump that happens right there. That's, 12% or whatever it is in between both of these months here. That's a massive amount of, appreciation. Most people have been shocked by that over the past few years. So they definitely don't want to face up with that. So what should you be talking about right now? And, how should you be interacting with your customers? Well, this is what I'm doing personally for my own business. If I call people right now and I just say to somebody, hey man, just want to check in, how's the real estate market? Wanted to see any plans of moving this year. It's probably not going to, go over so well. But here's what I am doing. I'm jumping over to a program. I don't care whether you use Fellow or HomeBot or whatever it is. You jump over, and when you pull this up, you might say, hey, Patricia, I just wanted to reach out because we're updating all of our home values into, we update them monthly. And so you're seeing updates that happen, in December and into January. And there's probably not going to be much movement in between those months. But ready? Here's the script, guys. Here's the script. I'm wondering if you're interested in seeing what spring market pricing is going to look like. I'm wondering if you're interested in what spring market pricing would look like for your house. That's all that you're going to say. Okay? And the reason that you're going to ask that is because obviously in between these months, January to May, June, etc., those are significantly different. So we don't want to be on the first end of, oh, hey, I just want to let you know next month, oh, your house is up 10,000. Oh, your house is up 15, or your house is up 20,000. That's not as helpful. People can't be reactive to that. But if you're starting right out in January saying, hey, I wanted to let you know, here's what's happening in the past over the last few months, but I'm updating it for January, but I wanted to see, are you also interested in seeing what spring market pricing would look like for your house? Okay. Now this is going to get you into a discussion with them. Now you can start identifying any issues that's going to come up for that. Oh, interest rates. Oh, I'm not sure where to go, or how we would sell. That's good. Those are all your secondary things that you want people to show up with objections. But now at least this person is starting to get interested in what's happening in the real estate market later on this month. Now, there's going to be a ton of talk over the next few months as to where interest rates are going. I want to just prep you before we even get into tomorrow, which is going to be all mortgage. We're going to spend time there. These interest rates, people are going to say, are going to come up, going to go down, etc. We're probably not moving a ton honestly, over these next few months. We're not going to be moving a ton. So if that's the case, then you have to decide for yourself, how am I going to go get my business? Because if we're waiting on the interest rates, that's going to be a problem. Here's why. Ready? Look what happens if I go over to a number of closed sales. The number of closed sales, let me back up, diminishes. You saw how this was increasing with sale price. Well, this actually diminishes each year as the interest rates have gone up. So you have to ask yourself, how many homes are there going to be for sale? And am I going to have to go get that based upon the amount of, where the interest rates are at? No, I can't rely on that. I need to be out in front of my customers way before interest rates start moving. So today, as you get started into, your January calls and reaching out to your database, sphere of influence or whatever, online leads, etc., the conversation needs to be not about where we are immediately today in the real estate market, but it's where do you see spring market pricing? Do you want it? Are you interested in spring market pricing? Awesome. Let me pause here for some questions here. Questions. How do you price a house? How do you price a house if someone says, Inez, I don't know what, welcome Inez, by the way. Hey, I'm really excited about selling our house, Inez. What should we want to sell it this spring? What should we sell it as? How much should we sell it for? What should we do? And that's open to anybody here. Jump on. How are you going to do that? How are we going to pull up some comps for that? How are we going to determine what a property is going to be worth in a few months from now? If we don't have comps, if comps are where they are today, January, and we're looking backwards, December, November, October, how do we tell?
I guess you can look back over the past 3 to 5 years and see what's the difference, the change in price from January to June, and use that as kind of a benchmark so you can increase that value by that percentage to what the value is now. Get an idea what the value is now, and then increase by that average percentage, plus or minus.
Okay, so apply a percentage basis from other years as to like where comps were.
Yes.
Where they sell. Okay, awesome, man. So so if you're seeing all your properties sell, like in 2024, in January they sold for $350, and then they sold for $375 in March, April, May, then we're going to apply about a 5% adjustment to them across the board. And then we go back and we look at that. That's one way. Okay, somebody else. How should we look at pricing our houses? How can we tell what houses are going to be worth in a few months? Open discussion, team.
I typically look at what's sold over the past year, what's currently under contract, and use those comps to assess the value.
Okay, so over the last year, but how do we know what it's going to be worth in like a few months from now? Time adjustment, Kristen says, question mark. Could do a time adjustment. Time adjustment would be, we're going to look at this. Time adjustment would be somewhat of what Adam is saying. We're going to see what's the difference in between where they were February of last year and where they were April, and we're going to apply that same adjustment. The rolling could be also said in the same way of we could look over the past months over here, and we could see what's the difference. Obviously, no adjustment there, but apply that. Sure. The idea here is that, go ahead.
I was going to chime in and just say, I'm pretty conservative, so I tend to sit down with people and report what happened in the last, in this case, last 3 to 6 months, because it's likely the lowest And then, but then I'll calculate kind of like what a seasonal increase typically is. And I mean, I'm driving, so I can't get an exact number, but maybe it's around like, 3% or 5% between January and April or May. And I kind of report it two ways, and, might be like, hey, for example, if we're going off the last 3 months worth of data, then the property would sell at 400. We may be looking more at like 420 in the future. Either way, the pricing strategy we want to implement is something that's going to be probably on the lower side, so we can drive multiple offers and stuff like that. So it kind of presented both ways. And then as we get closer to, like, if we're signing a listing now, it's going on in April, then, you have the opportunity to pull fresh data as you get closer and then update the list price if you want to.
Perfect, man. That's another way. Here's another one that's in the chat. List to sale ratios. Here's your list of sale ratios. You can take those and apply accordingly. So if you're at 5 to 6%, you might apply that moving forward, saying, okay, these December or January houses are probably going to close in February or March. So that's where March pricing will be. And then you're adding on to those again, considering that in those months, they're going to have probably another 5 or 6%. All of this is applicable and all of this is supportable, guys. So what I wanted to do is have at least 3 different strategies for you so that you could look and see how other people are assuming this is where it's going to sell. Now, here's your action step for this. Here's your action step today. Okay? Inside, here's Fellow or Follow Up Boss. I'll show you on both. If you're in on Fellow, jump in. Open up, add home value, notify, interested in spring market pricing. Have you viewed your current home and updated your home value estimate? I am also updating spring market pricing. Would you be interested seeing this data as well? And this is our call to action. Would you be interested in seeing spring market pricing? Now, before you say, oh, I'm so nervous, I don't want to have to do a CMA for every single one of these, I'm not really sure. The next question, my friends, is not, no problem, let me hit the button and update it with a perfect CMA of exactly what it's going to sell for in the spring market. That's not where we go with it. The question is, great, sounds good. When would you say that you'd like to see the pricing for? Somewhere in the early part of spring or closer into the summer? Oh, why? Because now I get to understand, oh, you're planning on maybe listing after when the kids get out of school? Oh, okay, no, we wanted to get going before all the craziness happened. Great. Now you're into discussion. You see how that works? Awesome. Yeah, we're trying to get ahead of it. Where would you like to see the pricing? Okay, cool. Awesome. And what caused you to think about that? Okay, cool. Great. Now we're looking to get into the discussion with them as to what their plans might be. All right, awesome. Good stuff. All right, let me show you exactly how to do this as well inside of FUB. This is what I would do. So you could be inside a Fellow and you're like, yeah, it's really good, but I don't have a whole lot of people. No problem. If you say that to yourself, if you're like, oh, I get FUB, but yeah, or excuse me, I get Fellow, but I don't have a whole lot of Sphere. That's okay. Go into Follow Boss. And here's people. New person who just came through. Okay, cool. if this person was doing, I don't care if they're reaching out about, buying an investment property or whatever it is, I'm reaching out with the same thing. Spring market pricing for investments. That could be if they're looking from, this is a investor lead, or spring market pricing for, and then whatever town they're reaching out. So let me give you another example. Let's say someone reached out. Here's one with Caitlin Godin. Caitlin, they reached out to you about a property here in Newington. Check this out. Watch this. Spring market pricing for Newington, Connecticut. Hey, Rob, I'm updating our internal valuations for real estate in Newington. Are you interested in seeing where pricing might end up in spring this year? Wow. Super simple. Now if Rob gets this, he's going to see, here's a town. Now, I don't know exactly what Rob's looking for. I don't have a whole lot of data here. But this gives me something to follow up with Rob about. So even if you don't have a ton of leads, it could be in the ponds. You can follow up with people this way as well. Awesome. Let me pause once again for any questions. Awesome. So where are we getting after it today, guys?
I have one other question. All right.
Yeah.
This is like super. So let's just say I jump into some, dial-in cold call, like skip trace, and I want like something really quick. They ask, oh, what do you think my home's worth now? Is there a way to do that? I know in Follow-Up Boss there is, where you can just, pop in an address and they'll spit out something really quick. Is there something in Fellow that would do that as well?
Yep. Fellow has all the automated valuations in there.
Without having to put the address in and send it and have them accept it, just
No, you would need to do that. So
Okay.
I probably wouldn't on the fly. Yeah, I probably on the fly wouldn't. If you're like, I'm trying to think of if you're talking about like circle prospecting and whatnot.
I'm on the phone and somebody's like, yeah, what do you think it's worth right now? And I said, okay, because I know I know, Fellow, I don't know if it does that, but
yeah, I would probably tend to get into like oh, awesome. Like, tell me a little bit about what you did to your house. And like, I kind of go into that. I try to get talking as much as possible that way.
Get them talking more. Yep.
Yeah. And then when you got like a lot more info, just be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to shoot off the cuff with you right now, but is it cool for just popping your ad? Like, I would do that.
Love it.
That's how person saying. Awesome. Good. Thank you for that question. Somebody else. Questions. Where else where are we getting after today, guys? Where are we hunting? Where are we fishing? Jess, thanks for your big smile this morning. Jess Xavier, where are you getting after it today?
I'm working on my contractor list. So I got a few and I'm going to reach out.
That's cool. Love it. Love to see it. Awesome. All right, guys. Jaden signing a listing at 11 and a listing appointment at 2. I'm going to call expireds today again. Yeah, Jaden's doing, I think, 200 calls a day right now. Fill it up. Awesome. Michaela, thanks for being on camera. What are you getting after today?
Expireds and Fellow and listing appointment for this week.
Another listing appointment?
It's a follow-up from last year. So he wants to be in spring. So we're going to call and get it set up for this week or next week.
Nick, what are you after today?
Just continuing onboarding, trying to get better. I got COVID from my sister over the weekend, so I feel like shit, but just going to keep hacking away at it.
Yeah, most of us got steamrolled from what I'm taking. Want to welcome Inez St. James to the team. She's going to be brand new with us. What's up, guys? Good to see you on, Inez.
Thank you.
Where are you getting it after it today? Where are you getting your business?
So I want to do the onboarding as fast as I can because I don't know if anyone in the group is taking advantage of FastCap. It's an EXP university program that starts this Wednesday. It's funny, when you were doing your presentation, I have a listing coming up. Hopefully it will be coming soon later this week at Horizon Hill, the same community that somebody got the lead on. But it's all good. Brain is on fire. I love it though.
Good stuff. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining this morning. I got a couple in the chat here. Jordan got some showings in South Windsor. Caitlin headed to meet Olivia to make calls and then an offer this morning. Great job. Sean freaking out because he's going to get COVID. Taylor, I'm going to go through my buyer seller leads and send out the spring market pricing email text. Good stuff, guys. I'm excited for later on today. You're going to get a text back. Send them to me. Screenshot them. Hey, Dave, I got this back. Hey, Dave, yeah, you want spring market pricing. This stuff works. Thanks so much for joining, guys. We'll see you a little bit later. Bye-bye.